Before we get started, here's a few highlights from today's game.
Way through that season, played such a...
Well, Cabrian got the 1-2 punch, the cutter. Or a chance to lose range of motion in those injuries.
Hit hard right to second, should be 2-4-6-3. Yankees and Pirates, Corey Kluber back just to see some spring baseball here in Tampa.
We're creatures of habit, and conversations have been fun, and the camaraderie is building as we continue to get through spring. And there's a lot, just more clarity and less things to figure out, and more time to just spend with your teammates and play baseball.
LeMahieu powers that to right field. Stokes back, looking up, it's gone.
This episode is brought to you in part by Vector Travel. Visit bookings.vectorstays.com and enter the code NYY Recaps at checkout to get 10% off your next stay. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to NYY Recaps. How good was Corey Kluber today? I just thought that he was very crisp. He did have a few command issues, 2 hit batters, but his slider was unbelievable. Yankees 2021 says, finally YouTube gives me the notification. Kluber could be back to form. And yes, Chapman's splitter is absolutely filthy. I had no idea that that splitter was so nasty until I saw it the other night. I had heard about it last year, but I don't remember him throwing it much. Maybe once or twice. But if he's going to use that more, he's going to be amazing. Yes, Erickson, that Aaron Hicks bunt was something. Actually, Aaron Hicks, I wanted to talk about him because he had a nice double in this game, ripped into the gap. And it looks to me like he's moving his bat less in his stance. He's not flailing that shillelagh like he used to as much. I mean, he's using it a little bit. He's got kind of one hitch. But I feel like last year he was moving it a lot more. So a good sign from Aaron Hicks. And I like that he's using his speed. He's bunting and things like that. But mostly the story for today was Corey Kluber. That slider was positively filthy. I liked his cutter, which he was throwing at like 89. And I think one of the first swings and misses he had in the game was on that cutter. He was throwing that slider to both lefties and righties. You can see right here. This is actually kind of a hanger, but Judge makes a great running catch out there in right field. He's such a good right fielder. Let's take another look. This was a two-seamer that kind of jammed the hitter, 91. You don't need to throw 95, 96. If you throw hard enough, 90, 91, but you have really good movement, that's hard enough. Anything in the 80s, you can usually get hit. I mean, ask Ian Kennedy about that when he first came up. But I just thought Kluber looked terrific. I'm really excited about what he's offering. Klubot, right? Not Kluber. Klubot. I gotcha. Okay. Sevy. Yeah, this is one other thing I wanted to bring up. Luis Severino got on the mound. He's recovering from Tommy John surgery. And I actually didn't think he was going to be on the mound this soon. But they said that they had to actually kind of almost pull him back because he was throwing so well. That's a really good sign. That means he feels good. Again, you want him to take it slowly. You don't want him to push it too much. When you push it too much, you can possibly re-injure yourself. And that is exactly what we do not need. In fact, I would prefer that they slow Severino down just a little bit. Give him an extra day or two in between his next throwing session. If he came out throwing that well, just let him rest a little bit. Move him on a little bit, slower than you typically would, because he's going to be so important for the Yankees come July, August, when he gets back on the field. He's going to be that, possibly third ace. If you're looking at the way that Garrett Cole is pitching and the way that Corey Kluber looks, Klubot. You throw in Severino in there with his 100-mile-an-hour fastball and his wipeout slider. And the Yankees bullpen is good enough that Severino won't even have to give you 7 innings. There was about a 2-year stretch where he led the league in 7 innings and 1 run. So I really feel like Severino's going to get back to form, and all signs are good so far. Let's see. Michael King. Yeah, Futai says Michael King is improving his velocity. I noticed that too. I noticed that from his first time, and so did David Cohn. He mentioned it right away. David Cohn mentioned after there was a pitch about 96 miles an hour, he said, ooh, good velo from Michael King. And yeah, Michael King last year was 91 to 94, but he seems to have just added a few ticks, and it just looks terrific. Looks terrific. Let's go through the comments here. I'm going to keep this kind of short today because I've got some steaks marinating, and it's about 70 degrees, so I don't want to spend my entire Saturday inside. Eric Sun says, any thoughts on Lucas Litke replacing Britton? He's been looking really good. Yeah, I mentioned that in one of my previous videos. Lucas Litke's got a really good curveball, especially the fact that he can throw it to both righties and lefties, and he controls it really well. He kind of gives me that Graham Lloyd feeling from the mid-90s. And, you know, he came from out of nowhere, and the Yankees brought him back after he hadn't pitched in the major leagues in now 6 years. But they wouldn't do that if they didn't see something in him. And I have a feeling that whatever they saw in him, whatever tweak or adjustment they made, is translating because he's been unhittable this spring. What kind of steaks? New York strip, baby. Come on. Yeah, I usually, actually, I just bought a new grill. My other grill, this is my third grill. Both my other grills caught fire. So I got to do a better time. I got to do a better, yeah, Gordon Ramsay is, I actually do use Gordon Ramsay's recipes. The way he mixes all the spices and stuff. He's actually got a couple of really good videos about how to cook steak. So Gordon Ramsay is the man. I do like ribeye. I like the fat around the bone in the ribeye. But, yeah. All right, so spring training game, really fun, but again, doesn't count. The wins don't count, but great to see Corey Kluber pitching well. I am in a great mood. I just love seeing great pitching performances. And as somebody who's 2 years older than Corey Kluber, I know how tough it can be to come back from a shoulder injury, but it sounds like he's healthy. And that teres major that he injured, David Cohn was saying that pitchers have a really good history, a really good track record of coming back from that healthy. So I feel really good about that. Prince Boss says, any plan on letting Britton go this offseason? You know, first of all, I think we're going to have Britton back by June or July. And look, Lucas Litke might be great, but Zach Britton is one of the best relief pitchers in all of baseball. So sorry about the highlights that they're kind of jumping around. I made my ending too long, so it's like 10 seconds of black screen. So when I notice that it's gone blank, I just turn it back to the beginning. But yeah, go check out my progress report on the Yankees pitchers so far. I put up all of their stats from this spring and their highlights from this spring. Everybody in the rotation from Corey Kluber to Davey Garcia, Garrett Cole, Jameson Taillon, and Domingo Germán, who I'm really, really excited about. So appreciate it, everybody. Have a great Saturday night. I'm going to watch the movie Soul on the Disney Plus network. I don't know what it's about, but I heard that I guess a soul gets put into from a human gets put into a cat. I don't know. My wife wanted me to watch it, so I'm going to check that out. Appreciate it, everybody. Go Yanks. See you next time.